Hi, welcome back to Spirit Lounge. Hope you guys are doing really well. Today's subject is called the ladder, and the ladder is really a metaphor for our spiritual journey. We'll discuss many aspects of the ladder, as we move forward in this video, and hopefully we'll touch them all. So, what is the ladder first of all? Well, the ladder is really just a metaphor for our incremental journey towards self, and then ultimately our reconnection openly and wholly towards source or grace, whilst experiencing physical life in an avatar in this universe. The universe itself is a theatre in which we enter, constantly expanding and moving through universal laws, and we'll touch on those again. And the rungs of that ladder, the steps that we have on that metaphorical ladder before us, are states of frequency, knowing, vibration, expansion that we achieve as we move forward and progress up the ladder towards what the end we could call is enlightenment. To start a spiritual journey, we all have to, there's a couple of things that we need to do, and that one of those things is to remove, or a couple of those things are remove ego, remove self-awarded intellectualism and the pedestal we put ourselves on, and remove the mind. In other words, remove the physical self from the journey. Because the physical self has no relevance on the journey at all. Because the journey is actually internal. And the mind is merely a processor of what comes from the internal and eternal, through the heart and the spirit. The journey involves reconnecting and joining the trinity of the spirit, the heart and the mind, to allow you to open up to what is out there within the infinite. The knowing and the truthfulness of our origins, who we truly are, what we're doing here, what our incarnational lives are for, what our purpose is today, in this life now, listening to this video, where we're going, where we need to go, what is life, what is death, what are universal laws, do we truly really understand them? And moving towards the top of that ladder, which is enlightenment, and that is really, towards that journey, is opening up the book. The book, at the very beginning of this video, and the one we've mentioned on many of the others, is really an energetic book. It's an energetic book of knowing of grace. It's everything that is known, that has ever been, that will never be. Its universal truth exists in an energetic footprint. Energy is information. It vibrates and its frequency is everywhere as waves in the quantum universe. And that is what the book is. And as we move up the rungs or the steps of that ladder towards a more and more expansive, higher frequency of state of being, what we're truly doing is we're opening that book and we're walking, we're turning the pages and releasing the energetic information that's within that book. As it enters our field of knowing from within, and we process it through the mind, we start to become more aware and we start to expand. This is the journey towards enlightenment. Enlightenment is opening of that book and forgiveness, gratitude, prayer, knowing, statefulness, being, fearlessness, calm, quiet, peace, humility, and unity. It's many things. It's love, it's energy, it's knowing what we are and living a life and removing the physical from the imposition of life and living life through the internal state. And by doing so, you achieve what I would call a spiritual confidence and assertiveness and freedom and fearlessness, confidence, calmness and peacefulness from the internal state. Because this world, you will see it from a very, very different place. You'll see it from a different perception that will have probably decimated everything that we would have thought before through our physical minds, our ideologies, our philosophies, our doctrines, our religions, what we're taught, what science tells us. All these things will be challenged through this spiritual journey up the metaphorical ladder towards enlightenment. And at the end of that ladder, it isn't the end journey. It's merely, for me, the release from the cycle of incarnational life, which we impose on ourselves. It's getting to a point of frequency and knowing and connectedness where coming into physical life and incarnating into physical life on this world or any other world, or this avatar, human avatar, or any other avatar, is no longer a need, is no longer going to serve a purpose for onward growth. We'll just step into different spheres of expansion at that point, because our journey moving towards the one never ends. Because moving towards the infinite, all-knowing is, well, can never really be, because we are always all-knowing out of body, but moving towards it in life, in physical life or as an energetic being, is always continual. It never ends. But the reason to have incarnational life we can move off away from that. But that's a long journey, and that's that ladder that we talk about. The rungs and steps of that ladder are different for all of us. How many they are and how spaced apart they are, that's up to you. That's up to each individual one of us. How easy that journey is going to be, how quick it's going to be, how many steps or rungs on that ladder we're going to have to step on, is entirely up to us. But there's a few critical things that we have to remember if we do decide to put our first foot on the first rung of that ladder. And that is to remove mind, to remove ego, to remove narcissism, to remove our physical selves, what we think we are, the pedestal we put ourselves on, how important we think we are, and our lack of humility. Because all of those things will cause blindness. It's actually not a benefit to have those things for us from a spiritual journey. To be honest, excessive arrogance, intellectualism, focus on mind and ideology and science will actually prevent a person from moving up that ladder than it will for someone who's put those things aside. Because the journey itself will temper those things. So we either willingly put those things aside through our own strength and fortitude to do so, or if you're truly going to be on that journey, then I'm telling you, and I will guarantee you, the arrogance that we have, the ego that we have, the mind intellectualism that we have, the thinking we are the pinnacle of life that we have, will all be put in its place. It'll be removed forcibly if we continue on that journey. The journey to spiritual expansion is very hard. The journey itself is simple, but the experience of it is hard. It's not for the faint-hearted, because unless one's willing to have their ego challenged, it won't move forward very, very quickly. So it's important to understand that the ladder is there waiting for us all. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is because we have to look at the world that we have today. The world that we have today outside is actually a reflection of everything that we all are inside. A collective expression, all 7.x billion of us on this planet today. This world, the external world, is a reflection of all our collective internal state. What we experience here is a reflection of all of us. The state of this world, what's happening today, now around us, the chaos in the world today, and the continual, it seems never-ending, disharmony that we have, the excess materialism that we have, is a reflection of all our internal states, reflected outward into the material world. So we ask ourselves, how is the world going to change? Well, the world is going to change through action. Our action. But if our action is only geared through mental intellectualism, ego, ideology, religion, philosophy, dogma, pedestals we put ourselves and focus only on mind and science, then the outcome is going to continue to be what it is today. Unless it shifts to a different place, which I said is a brave decision, and it's a difficult experience, but a very simple one, then the change will happen because our external actions, words and thoughts and intentions will be expressed and given strength and fortitude from a very different place. So if we want to change this world, truly want to change this world, we have to allow ourselves to see what we've unseen, what we've become blind to, but also start to accept what we've dismissed. Because this world actually will open itself up to us all, if we open ourselves to our internal state. Because the truth, no matter how brutal and how abstractly weird it may be that we've dismissed, will be presented to us as real. The things we don't want to accept are real, presented to us as real, so we can confront the reality that exists around us, of this universe itself. It's an interesting thing that we all live through the mind, but we constantly search through the heart. There's a misalignment, because what we should be doing is living through our heart. Because living through our hearts will change those actions, words, thoughts and intentions to make this world a better place for others and not for ourselves. That's how change truly manifests. If we live through our minds, we're constantly doing things for our physical selves. The unity, the trinity of the heart, mind and spirit is important to focus on, because that is part of the journey and the release from incarnational life at the top of the ladder, and opening ourselves up through silence, meditation, peacefulness and prayer, and speaking to the silence which is out there, which we've dismissed. Speak to the silence. You may not speak back, but it will guide you if you're open to it. Dismissal of the mind will only prevent it. You don't have to believe anything to start something off. Have faith in what you're doing and what you're trying to do. Because the answers are all internal. We don't have to convince ourselves. If we're truly open and we truly go within, truly, and switch the grey matter between our ears off, the answers are all there. And you'll know, because you've allowed them to emerge and speak to you through your energetic body. The energy body is where information is held, is where this energetic book is held. But we can only listen to that when we open it up from inside. We allow that energetic information to rise within ourselves, come through our hearts and spirit, and have our mind able to receive it so it's processed. Energy is information. Our mind simply interprets that energetic movement within into information, into logic, into kind of words, energetic words that our mind translates for us so we can understand. But it's coming from energy and frequency from within, because they're all translated, they're felt. These words are felt within. They're not actually speaking to you, they're speaking to you because your mind's translating that frequency of feeling, knowledge and information, which is vibration and energy. It comes through and it's translated by the mind. It is not known by the mind. It is known through the heart and spirit. That is where the source of true knowledge is. Science and quantum physics will tell us how this world works, our physical lives, our interactions, this universe, this physical observable universe and its expansion, constant being within it, how we travel, our sciences, our technology, our health, our physical being, our world, the ones that we see and touch and feel. That will all be given to us through science and quantum physics. But who we truly are, our home, our origin, our purpose, where this all came from, what its purpose is, what's truly out there, what's truly is in here, that's going to come from a silent space. And that's the journey that we're all seeking, really. And that's why we live through the mind, but we constantly search through the heart. So the universal law, I just wanted to touch on that because it's important to remember what universal law is, because it underpins everything that we are and we do. Universal law has these fundamental principles. Everything in the universe is based on energy. Energy is the basis of everything that exists, and it's a constituent of everything that exists. And it's a frequency, it vibrates at different rates of frequency or waves, as quantum physics refers to it. And we observe this universe through waves of frequency and vibration and energy. We are pure energy beings inhabiting a physical form. And our lives in this physical space are directed by these following things: intention, karma, timelines, actions, words, and thoughts. Everything that we are, everything that we do has an intention behind it. That intention then drives force, which is directed energy into actions, words, and thoughts. Depending on that, depending on the frequency of that intention, it will create either positive or negative karma. Those actions, words, and thoughts and intended karma create what we call timelines in the now, or the experiences of the today, and the experiences of the tomorrow. As timelines, the pathways, experiences, the future, in other words, all reside within the quantum field. Everything that we've ever thought, even in the minutest, in the millisecond, if you like, is recorded. Everything that we are is recorded. And these universal laws govern us. It's important to understand universal law and govern life through this. There are no protections then, there is no way of cascading karma to another person, and there are no protections from universal law. It is all pervasive law for everything animate or inanimate in this universe, and will always be. And these laws are fundamental to understand, because they will govern us, our lives, and they'll also help us in our expansive journey up the ladder to spiritual expansion. So remember to live and feel through the heart and the spirit, and connect it with the mind as a trinity of the three. And that's where we ultimately need to be, and open yourselves up. Be brave and courageous, because the spiritual journey is simple. It's calming, it's fearless, it's strength. It's out there waiting for us to connect to it. Okay, so I hope this helped. Just explain what the ladder was and what it means to us in terms of our spiritual journey. Please like and subscribe and share these videos. And by the way, I do hope you watched and liked the last kind of music videos I made called Love. That took 6 hours to make for 7 minutes, by the way, just so you know. It's faster recording these and editing and publishing them than it is to make a 7-minute video with images and words. It's surprising. It takes a long time to make those. It's a labor of love, though. I do enjoy it. So if you haven't watched it, do watch that. You'll enjoy it. And cascade this out far and wide to those who will be interested. And great speaking to you all again. And chat to you again soon. Love to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.